At the very beginning of the film, we see a scene inside a medical university where a professor is interacting with his students. Among them is a girl named Sunita. During the discussion, she comes across the case of a man named Sanjay Singhania who's suffering from short-term memory loss. This case immediately grabs her attention, and she becomes eager to study it herself. She asks her professor for permission to handle the case, but he directly refuses. Still, Sunita doesn't give up and keeps requesting him. After seeing her determination, the professor finally decides to explain Sanjay's condition to the class. He tells them that Sanjay Singhania is a wealthy businessman and the owner of a major mobile company. However, his life changed after a tragic accident. Due to a severe head injury, he developed a rare condition where he can only retain memories for about 15 minutes. After that, everything fades away, forcing him to start over again every single time. Now, the story shifts, and we finally see Sanjay in action. He is brutally attacking a man, and within moments, he kills him. After that, he calmly takes out his camera and clicks a photo of the dead body, keeping it with him as evidence. Then, he picks up the man's phone and starts checking it. While going through the contacts, he finds a name, Ghajini. The moment he sees this name, something inside his mind starts to trigger, as if he's trying to remember a forgotten connection. Without wasting time, he quickly writes down Ghajini's number in his diary, making sure he doesn't lose this important clue. After that, he leaves the place immediately. Soon after, a police investigation team arrives at the crime scene and begins examining everything carefully. Meanwhile, the man Sanjay killed wasn't alone. His associates are now actively searching for Sanjay. On the other hand, Sanjay manages to reach his home safely. As Sanjay reaches his house, we notice something unusual. The walls are covered with countless notes and photographs, almost like every piece of his life has been pinned around him. He then walks into the bathroom, where a message written on a paper catches his attention. Take off your shirt. Without questioning it, he follows the instruction and removes his shirt. The moment he looks at his body, he is covered in tattoos from head to waist. For a second, even he seems shocked seeing them. But then it becomes clear. Sanjay already knows about his condition. He suffers from short-term memory loss, and to cope with it, he has turned his own body into a reminder system. Every important detail of his life is permanently inked onto his skin. Not just that, he also keeps a camera with him all the time. Whenever he meets someone new, he clicks their photo and writes their name along with it, so he won't forget them later. And if he ever has a meaningful or friendly interaction with someone, he even gives them a copy of that photo. Like a strange but practical way of holding on to connections in a life where memories don't last. Sanjay then arrives at the medical university, but he's not alone. Officer Arjun is secretly following him, keeping a close watch on his movements. Somehow Sanjay senses that he's being tracked. The moment he realizes this, he cleverly misleads Arjun and manages to slip away. At the university, Sunita finally comes face to face with Sanjay and tries to talk to him. But Sanjay feels uneasy. Meeting new people and having conversations is not easy for him because of his condition. Still, as their conversation slowly begins, Sanjay takes out his camera and clicks Sunita's picture. Then he makes 2 copies of it, one for her and one for himself. On both photos, he writes a single word, friend. This isn't just a habit, it's his survival method. The next time they meet, even if he forgets everything, that photo will remind him that Sunita is someone he can trust, someone who is on his side. Late at night, Sanjay is busy working on something inside his house. The atmosphere is quiet, but suddenly, Officer Arjun secretly sneaks in without making a sound. Before Sanjay can even react, Arjun strikes him on the head and knocks him unconscious. After that, Arjun ties him up to make sure he can't escape. Now, he begins searching the entire house. But the moment he looks around, he's completely shocked. The walls are filled with notes, reminders, and photographs everywhere. It almost looks like a mind turned inside out. Curious and confused, Arjun continues his search more carefully. That's when he comes across a diary. He picks it up and starts reading it, trying to understand what's really going on. And from here, the story shifts into a flashback. Sanjay had recently moved from the United States to India. He is a successful businessman, and his company is called Air Voice. At the same time, we are introduced to Kalpana, a young girl with big dreams of becoming an actress. One day, she is rushing to reach an ad shoot, but unfortunately, she arrives late. Because of this, the director gets angry and starts scolding her. On the other side, Sanjay is busy searching for the perfect location to place a promotional board for his company. During this search, he comes across the upper portion of Kalpana's house, and he instantly likes it. Seeing the potential, Sanjay sends his team to talk to Kalpana and discuss using that space. At the ad shoot, the moment Sanjay's team arrives, everyone on set is surprised to see them. When they approach Kalpana and start talking to her, she doesn't immediately agree to their proposal. From a distance, the people on set notice Kalpana having a conversation with them, but they completely misunderstand the situation. They assume that Sanjay Singhania himself is interested in Kalpana and that she is turning down his proposal. Her director, along with the rest of the crew, starts hoping that she will accept it. The director especially sees a big opportunity here. He believes that if Kalpana gets connected with someone like Sanjay, it could bring huge benefits to his ad agency as well. Because of this misunderstanding, everyone on set suddenly begins treating Kalpana with extra respect and importance. Slowly, Kalpana realizes what they are thinking. But instead of clearing their confusion, she decides to play along. She pretends as if Sanjay has actually sent a proposal for her. In her mind, she feels that revealing the truth might cost her the success she has always dreamed of. So she agrees to the proposal, not for a relationship, but for the advertising deal. The moment she says yes, everyone around her becomes extremely happy, believing that she and Sanjay are now connected on a personal level. After this, Kalpana's life starts changing rapidly. She begins getting more work, bigger opportunities, and soon she becomes the main lead. This is everything she had ever dreamed of, and finally, it all seems to be coming true. One day, a man arrives at Kalpana's place to take her interview, but Kalpana misunderstands the situation. She assumes he's there to discuss an ad shoot. Trying to maintain her image and status, she casually tells him that she is in a relationship with Sanjay Singhania. The man interviewing her is thrilled, because for him, this turns into a breaking news story. Without wasting any time, the news spreads everywhere. Soon, every newspaper and magazine is filled with headlines about Kalpana and Sanjay's supposed affair. When this news reaches Sanjay, he is completely shocked and frustrated. There is no truth to it at all, and he has no idea who this girl is. Now, he becomes determined to find out who Kalpana really is and why she is spreading such rumors about him. Determined to find the truth, Sanjay decides to meet Kalpana himself. While driving, his car stops at a red light. At that moment, Kalpana arrives nearby on her scooter. She notices a group of children standing outside a museum. When she goes closer, she realizes that they are physically disabled and want to go inside, but they are unable to cross properly because the path isn't accessible. Without thinking twice, Kalpana steps in to help them. Using the gate and supporting them carefully, she makes sure each one of them gets inside safely. Sanjay watches all of this from his car. Seeing her kindness leaves a strong impression on him. For the first time, he feels genuinely moved by her actions. But he still doesn't realize that she is the same girl he's been searching for. Later, Sanjay reaches the film set and finally meets Kalpana. The moment he sees her, he is completely lost for a second, just staring at her. On the other hand, Kalpana misunderstands him again. She assumes he has come looking for work. She starts talking to him confidently and even begins telling him about her so-called relationship with Sanjay Singhania, not knowing she is speaking to the same person. Then she asks his name. Just moments earlier, a man named Sachin had been there, so that name is still in her mind. She casually says, "Your name is Sachin, right?" Sanjay pauses for a second and then simply agrees. He doesn't reveal his true identity and quietly walks away, keeping his secret to himself. As time passes, many people start approaching Kalpana, asking for work, hoping she can help them get opportunities. After the news about her supposed connection with Sanjay Singhania spreads, her director's business also begins to flourish. Everything around her seems to be changing rapidly. At some point, Kalpana gets hold of Sanjay's number and decides to call him. Meanwhile, Sanjay is at a work site with his staff when he receives her call. She excitedly tells him that she has arranged an ad shoot opportunity for him. Then she shares the address and even suggests that he should come by auto rickshaw, saying it will create a better impression. Sanjay can't help but smile at this. Despite being a wealthy businessman, he simply agrees. Without revealing anything about his true identity, he follows her instructions and reaches the location in an auto. Meanwhile, Kalpana is seen helping an old man by dropping him safely at a bus stop. When Sanjay notices this, he is once again touched by her kindness. Her simple, caring nature starts to affect him deeply, and slowly, he begins to like her. From there, their bond grows stronger. They become good friends, meeting often, spending time together, and enjoying each other's company as their connection naturally deepens. One day, Kalpana's director announces that he has organized a grand New Year party, and the biggest surprise is that Sanjay Singhania will be attending as the chief guest. He has even printed Sanjay's name on the invitation cards. The moment Kalpana sees this, she gets worried. She knows the truth behind everything, so she tries to dodge the conversation and change the topic. But the director is firm. He insists that Sanjay must attend the party at any cost. Until now, no one has actually seen Sanjay, since he had only recently moved to India. This gives Kalpana a small sense of relief and also an idea. She comes up with a plan. She decides to take someone from her studio team and make him pretend to be Sanjay at the party. She brings that man to her house and starts training him, teaching him how to act like Sanjay Singhania. But no matter how hard he tries, Kalpana isn't satisfied with his performance. Just then, Sanjay himself arrives at her house. Thinking quickly, Kalpana tells the studio guy that her friend Sachin has come and asks him to act like Sanjay in front of him. She says that if Sachin believes it, then his acting is good enough. When Sanjay walks in, Kalpana introduces him to the fake Sanjay. But the real Sanjay immediately starts laughing and says that this man is definitely not Sanjay Singhania. Kalpana gets a little irritated with the studio guy and then finally decides to tell the truth. She admits that everything she said earlier was a lie. She has no relationship with Sanjay. People on the set misunderstood the situation, and instead of correcting them, she took advantage of it because it was helping her career. But now, things have gone too far. Without even asking her, the director has made Sanjay the chief guest, assuming he is her boyfriend. After hearing all this, Sanjay himself starts teaching the studio guy how to act like Sanjay. Watching him, Kalpana is impressed and feels that Sachin could actually pull it off perfectly, so she makes her final decision. She dresses him up in a coat and tells him that he will attend the party as Sanjay Singhania. At the New Year party, Kalpana and everyone else are eagerly waiting for Sanjay to arrive. After some time, he finally shows up, stepping out of a luxurious high-end car. Seeing this, Kalpana is completely shocked. She quietly complains to him, wondering why he brought such an expensive car, and even says she's not going to pay for it. Soon, everyone warmly welcomes him, believing he is the real Sanjay Singhania. The party continues, and they all sit down to eat. Just then, a woman approaches him, asking for a donation for an NGO. Kalpana immediately interrupts, saying that no one carries money to a party. The woman replies that they also accept checks, but Kalpana again argues that people don't bring checkbooks to parties either. But in that very moment, Sanjay calmly takes out a checkbook and writes a donation for her. Seeing this, Kalpana is left stunned and confused. She pulls him aside and questions him, asking what he's doing and whose checkbook that is. But Sanjay simply stays composed and continues acting normal, without revealing anything. After the party, both of them head back home together in a bus. They feel relieved and happy, thinking that everyone successfully believed Sachin to be Sanjay. During the ride, Sanjay finally opens up and confesses his feelings to Kalpana. Hearing this, Kalpana doesn't give an immediate answer. Instead, she asks for one day to think about it. Now Sanjay is left wondering, will Kalpana accept his love without knowing the truth about who he really is, or not? The story now shifts back to the present. Arjun, still inside the house, starts searching for another diary so he can continue reading the rest of the story. But before he can find anything, Sanjay suddenly regains consciousness and attacks him. At that exact moment, Sanjay's manager and doctor arrive at the house for a routine checkup. Thinking quickly, Sanjay hides the unconscious Arjun inside a cupboard to avoid being caught. Just then, a reminder pops up on Sanjay's phone. From it, he learns that Ghajini has been invited as the chief guest at an event in the medical university. Without wasting time, Sanjay heads straight there. At the university, he once again meets Sunita. Meanwhile, during the event, The moment Sanjay sees Ghajini for the first time, flashes of his past begin to appear in his mind. Broken, blurry memories of something terrible that once happened. He immediately clicks Ghajini's photo and writes down his name, trying to hold on to this important clue. But within minutes, his memory resets again. Using his notes, Sanjay calls Ghajini and tricks him into coming to the basement. However, Ghajini's phone is actually with one of his men, so when that man reaches the basement, Sanjay attacks him, believing he is Ghajini. The man gets badly injured. Later, when Sanjay checks the photos again and compares the face, he realizes the truth. He has attacked the wrong person. Understanding his mistake, Sanjay tries to escape from there. But before he can get away, Ghajini and his men arrive at the basement. The moment they see what has happened, they realize that someone from their past has come back and is trying to kill them. After this, Sunita decides to visit Sanjay at his house. But the moment she steps inside, she is completely shaken by what she sees. The entire place is filled with photos, notes, and disturbing clues. As she looks closely at the pictures of different people, she begins to understand the truth. Sanjay has already killed several individuals, and now his next target is Ghajini. She knows Ghajini is a powerful man in the city, someone with a strong public image. Realizing how serious the situation is, she starts looking around more carefully. Then, she opens a cupboard, and suddenly, Officer Arjun's unconscious body falls out. Shocked, she quickly removes the tape from his mouth to help him. At that exact moment, Sanjay returns home. Seeing him, Arjun panics and immediately runs away, trying to escape. Sanjay chases after him without hesitation. In the chaos, Arjun ends up colliding with a truck, and the accident kills him on the spot. Sanjay then turns his attention to Sunita and begins chasing her as well. Terrified, she runs for her life and somehow manages to escape from him. Meanwhile, Ghajini starts eliminating all of his enemies one by one. But even after doing that, he still cannot figure out who is actually trying to kill him. On the other hand, Sunita becomes convinced that Sanjay is a dangerous killer and that he is obsessed with murdering Ghajini. Wanting to prevent something terrible from happening, she goes to meet Ghajini personally and tells him everything she knows about Sanjay. She warns him to stay alert and be careful. Later that night, Sanjay secretly enters Ghajini's house, but when he gets there, the place is completely empty. At the same time, Sunita calls Ghajini's landline phone. Unexpectedly, Sanjay answers the call. Mistaking him for Ghajini, Sunita begins explaining everything about Sanjay once again. She mentions that Sanjay has a photograph of her, a picture he had taken during one of their conversations, and asks Ghajini to somehow get that photo from him. Realizing the opportunity, Sanjay pretends to be Ghajini and calmly asks her for more details about the picture. Without suspecting anything, Sunita reveals everything to him. After the call, Sanjay manages to find Sunita's photograph among his belongings. The moment he sees it, he starts believing that Sunita is actually his enemy. Driven by this misunderstanding, Sanjay goes straight to her hostel at night and attacks her through the window. Terrified, Sunita somehow escapes and runs for help. Soon, all the hostel students gather around, creating chaos everywhere. This time, Sunita contacts the police and Sanjay is finally arrested. Sunita now has Sanjay's diary with her. Curious to uncover the truth, she sits down with her friends and starts reading it. As the pages turn, the story once again moves into a flashback. By this point, Kalpana has already accepted Sachin's proposal. Meanwhile, Sanjay desperately wants to reveal his real identity to her, but he keeps waiting for the perfect moment. Wanting to make her happy, Sanjay secretly arranges a new house for Kalpana through a lottery organized by his company. When Kalpana finds out that she has won the house, she becomes overjoyed. She had always dreamed that before getting married, she would own 3 cars. To make that dream come true, she even sells her jewelry and buys her very first car. Soon after, Sanjay has to leave for an important business trip abroad. Before leaving, he meets Kalpana and lies to her, saying that his mother is seriously ill and that he needs to return to his village to sell his land and arrange money for her treatment. Hearing this, Kalpana doesn't hesitate for a second. She sells her newly bought car and gives all the money to him so he can help his mother. Seeing her sacrifice leaves Sanjay deeply emotional. He feels terrible, knowing that because of him, Kalpana gave up something she had worked so hard to achieve. The story now shifts back to the present once again. After learning about Sanjay's past, Sunita is left with even more questions in her mind. Wanting to uncover the complete truth, she decides to meet Kalpana's director and question him about everything. Meanwhile, the police notice a phone number tattooed on Sanjay's body. Using that number, they contact Ghajini and call him to the police station. When Ghajini arrives there and sees Sanjay's body covered with tattoos, including his own name and number, he is completely stunned. For the first time, he realizes how deeply connected Sanjay is to him. Later, Sanjay's manager takes him back home from the police station. But that same night, under the cover of darkness, Ghajini arrives at Sanjay's house, along with his men. What they do next is brutal. Ghajini deliberately damages the tattoos on Sanjay's body, the very things that help him remember his life. Then, his men destroy everything else as well. They burn his notes, photographs, and all the clues he had carefully collected over time. Even his camera, the one object he relied on the most, is smashed and thrown into the fire. In just a few moments, Sanjay's entire memory system is reduced to ashes. Sunita begins collecting old newspapers, hoping to uncover more information connected to Kalpana. While going through those reports, she finds several clues that eventually lead her and her friend to an orphanage. There, during a conversation with one of the girls, Sunita learns about a shocking incident from Kalpana's past. The girl explains that Kalpana was once traveling to Goa for work when she noticed a frightened young girl hiding under a train seat, crying silently. When Kalpana asked what had happened, the girl revealed something horrifying. She and many other girls were being trafficked out of the city so their organs could be sold illegally. The rest of the girls were trapped inside another compartment of the train. While they were talking, a group of goons arrived searching for the escaped girl. To protect her, Kalpana quickly hid with her inside the bathroom. But after some time, the criminals eventually found and caught both of them. In that tense moment, Kalpana desperately opened the shutter connecting to the next compartment, and luckily, several army officers were present there. With their help, she managed to rescue all the kidnapped girls and safely bring them back to Mumbai. And soon, the story spread across the entire country. Kalpana's bravery became headline news everywhere. Later, she shares the entire incident with Sanjay as well. Hearing what she had done fills him with pride and admiration. He realizes that Kalpana isn't just kind-hearted, she is truly fearless. A few days later, Kalpana discovers that 2 of the rescued girls have suddenly disappeared from the hospital. Worried, she immediately rushes there to find out what happened. But when she arrives, she comes face to face with Ghajini himself. Calmly and without any remorse, he tells her the horrifying truth. He had both girls killed because they were planning to expose his name to the media. Hearing this completely shatters Kalpana from within. Ghajini's cruelty and lack of humanity leave her deeply shaken, and in anger and fear, she storms out of the hospital. Sometime later, just as she reaches near her apartment, she receives a warning call. The caller tells her that Ghajini and his men are planning to kill her, and she must not go home under any circumstances. But it's already too late. Kalpana has already entered her flat. Terrified, she somehow manages to avoid the attackers for a while and hides herself inside a room. At that exact same time, Sanjay arrives at her house, wanting to surprise her. He rings the doorbell multiple times, but when nobody answers, he starts walking away. Meanwhile, Kalpana desperately keeps calling him for help, but Sanjay's phone is left inside his car, so he never hears it ringing. A little later, Sanjay finally notices the missed calls and immediately calls her back. Crying and panicked, Kalpana reveals the entire truth to him. The moment Sanjay understands the situation, he rushes back to save her. But the sound of the ringing phone gives away Kalpana's hiding spot, and Ghajini's men find her. When Sanjay finally reaches the flat, Kalpana somehow opens the door. Seeing her alive gives him a brief moment of relief. But the instant he hugs her, he realizes something horrifying. A knife is already stabbed into her back. Before Sanjay can even react, someone strikes him hard on the head with an iron rod. Dazed and helpless, he falls to the ground, and right in front of his eyes, Ghajini brutally beats Kalpana to death with the rod. Sanjay is unable to save her, and it is this very incident, this horrifying night, that destroys his memory and turns him into the man he is today. After discovering the truth, Sunita feels deeply guilty. Until now, she had believed that Sanjay was a dangerous criminal, while thinking Ghajini was an innocent and respectable man. Realizing that she had supported the wrong person completely breaks her from inside. Wanting to help Sanjay, she goes to meet him at the hospital and returns his diary. Then she carefully reminds him of everything connected to Kalpana, their love story, her death, and the reason behind his revenge. The moment Sanjay remembers the truth, his rage comes back stronger than ever. He immediately calls Ghajini and threatens him. Soon after, a violent fight breaks out between Sanjay and Ghajini's men. Sanjay fights through them one by one and chases after Ghajini himself. But in the middle of the chaos, Sanjay loses his memory once again. Seeing this as the perfect opportunity, Ghajini manipulates and confuses him. Then, without warning, he attacks Sanjay brutally with an iron rod. Sunita tries desperately to save him, but Ghajini strikes first and drives the rod into Sanjay's stomach, exactly the same way he had attacked Kalpana in the past. Then, just like before, Ghajini attempts to kill Sunita right in front of Sanjay's eyes. But this time, things do not go his way. Sanjay gathers all his strength and saves Sunita. Filled with anger and memories of Kalpana, he finally kills Ghajini in the very same brutal manner that Ghajini had once used to murder Kalpana. At last, Sanjay avenges her death, and his long journey of revenge finally comes to an end. In the final moments of the story, Sanjay is seen living peacefully in an orphanage, surrounded by children. Slowly, his health also begins to improve. With time, he is once again appointed as the chairman of Air Voice Company. One day, Sunita comes to meet him at the orphanage. She brings along a cement slab that holds something very special: the footprints of both Kalpana and Sanjay. These footprints were made on the day they entered their new home together for the very first time. The moment Sanjay sees them, he becomes emotional. Even though Kalpana is no longer with him, those footprints make him feel her presence once again, as if a part of her still lives beside him. And with this emotional moment, the movie finally comes to an end. So friends, this was today's movie explanation. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing movie explanations. And yes, the comment section is always open for your opinions and suggestions. We'll meet again very soon with another exciting video. Until then, take care of yourselves.